I'm ready.
New intro.
I think I lost myself. Demon time, demon time, demon time, demon. Demon time, demon time, demon time. It's 3 a.m. Voices in my head again. Demon time, I can't pretend. 2026, no more friends. Demon time, feel it on my skin. Dark thoughts, let it all begin. Demon time, yeah, I let it in. Now I don't know where I am. Late night, eyes wide, no sleep. Heartbeat fast when the room go deep. Cold air creeping under my feet. Something there, but it don't speak. Phone like flicker, shadows move. Same dark vibe, same cold move. Mind gon' blink, but I still feel used. Like I'm stuck in a loop I choose. No trust, I don't trust myself. Fear a crack, I see someone else. All this pain that I never felt. Now we rising, I need some help. I hear whispers say my name. Every night it sound the same. From the dark it feed the flame. Now I know I'm not the same. Demon time. It's 3 a.m. Voices in my head again. Demon time. I can't pretend. 2026, no more friends.
Wow. That's your new
Welcome,
intro?
everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Terry with Nspstv Paranormal Podcast with my co-host Irene. And I got a very special guest today, guys. But before we even get started, how is everybody's day? I'm doing great. I am doing great, man. I got the day off. I work tomorrow, but I got the day off Sunday. So all of you guys that celebrate mothers, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Uh,
Day, everybody. Yeah.
Happy
I
Mama's Day.
will be putting flowers on various people's various locations. I'll be at Sunday before I come back and do Sunday evening podcast. But like I say, wish everybody happy Mother's Day if you celebrate it, and if you don't. But every day is Mother's Day. That is the weirdest thing. I cannot. I've never understood Mother's Day. I know it's a special day for mothers, but in my eyes, every day is Mother's Day because any day a mother can get a gift from their sons, their daughters, their husbands. It doesn't matter. Every day has the potential to be Mother's Day. But the big question, and I'm going to go down a rabbit hole with this right quick. Why come Father's Day is not the same as Mother's Day? Inquiring minds want to know.
Mm,
That
that's a
is
good
an
question.
Arsenio Hall moment right there.
Yeah. Things are
Gotcha.
maybe
But anyway, guys, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show. Quick shout out to everybody that are listening and watching and having a great time with this, man. All you guys on so many different platforms tonight. Kick, Rumble, Instagram, X, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and my personal YouTube Facebook page. Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And with that being said, like I say, I got a very special guest. Gals, ghosts, and ladies. Jennifer, how you doing?
I'm good, Terry. Hi, Irene. Thank you guys so much for having me tonight. I'm looking over here at the comments. This is why I love StreamYard. And I see Dan and Kat and Lori and Joy and so many of my friends are here tonight watching, and I really, really appreciate that. And Terry, you're going to have some new followers and friends after tonight. Um, and Aaron, whoops, and Aaron is here and Carrie is here. And I just wanted to say thank you to all my friends for tuning in. Um, and yeah, and thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really, really excited to be here. And I really hyped this all week long. Terry, you being really an exciting and dynamic host. So I'm looking forward to this. And Irene, so we were, oh, and the Reverend Mark is also in the house. And, I knew some kind of hat was going to make an appearance. I almost wore my fascinator tonight, but is that the Mother's Day special, Terry? It's the Mother's Day
No,
special.
this is the Father's Day special, man.
Okay. Well, you're a month early. I
This
know.
is the
I mean,
Father's
I know.
Day.
I know.
I got the dreads. I got the dreads going, man. I am,
It's a good look.
yeah. It's
It's a
good
good
luck.
look.
I've been having this thing for years, man. So
Um,
I decided
yeah.
to put. Wait, hold up. Why are you praying to the gods?
They're clapping. They're clapping. That's what they're doing. They're clapping.
Well, I'm hoping I'm making everybody happy today. But
They are. They are.
Jennifer and Irene, uh, I'm gonna throw the book at y'all today.
Oh,
These these are gonna be questions that
mm,
Irene, you've never even you've never even discussed about these different topics that we're gonna bring up. So with that being said,
I
Jennifer,
get to do,
tell the world a
I
little.
get to pay it back. I'm paying him back later on.
No, you know,
Can I just
Jennifer, tell the world a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from, and how you come to be in the profession that we're all in.
So the first thing I want to say is I did absolutely no preparation for this show. So for whatever you throw at me, I mean, other
Don't
than
worry about it.
I do want to say I did do a card poll earlier tonight. I pulled a card
Mhm.
for one for Terry, one for myself, and one for Irene. And later on tonight, I'm going to do a reveal about that. But other than that, no prep. Terry didn't send me any questions. Irene and I have never met, so I have no idea what they're going to be throwing at me tonight. So I am ready for anything.
And
Um,
that's the great thing
so,
about
but to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Jennifer Payne, and I am Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies. And I certainly have a lot of friends who kind of help me out with Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies. A lot of friends. Carrie, not the Carrie's like my right hand man. Um, but I have always been interested in like spooky stuff and paranormal, and I think growing up, we all have weird things happening to us. So
Mhm.
as kids, so I always wondered, and as I get older, we started watching things like Ghost Adventures and stuff like that on TV, and I started realizing that that's really kind of something attainable to me. I'm interested in it. I like videos. This is something I could potentially do. So about 2 years ago, Adam Berry. Do you guys know who Adam Berry is?
Mm-mm.
No,
From
I don't think I met it.
Kindred Spirits, and also he was on Ghost Hunters, the original Ghost Hunters from years ago. Anyways, he did an event locally in my area, and I went to it, and I just fell in love with it. It was like 2 years ago, so I've only been doing this for 2 years. But I went to this event and I said, I want to do this all the time. And I just started doing it all the time and really kind of started building a brand with gals where I've met other people who are really interested in the same thing and have good paranormal investigation skills and research skills and that kind of thing. And it's just kind of turned into a thing, and here we are 2 years later, and I have my own live stream and I'm on yours, and hi Sybil, and like I said, I on my own live stream last week we did a new show called Paranormal Podcast where we did a live reading. I brought on two psychics and a friend who's good with technology, and we did a live reading on the air of Suncat, who's in the comments over here. Sybil and another friend Sue did a reading on the air, and another friend Kelly did a spirit box session. So it was very exciting and it was very accurate. And we did that, and this has all just come about in the last 2 years. So you asked a little bit about me, and that's how this That's how this all came about, very suddenly,
Okay.
and I'm having a really good time doing it. I certainly take it seriously, but I also have a really good time doing it, and I've met some wonderful people.
That's the great thing about the paranormal community. There are a lot of interesting people
Oh yeah.
that are in our community. Whether we agree on certain philosophies and about the paranormal and what people might think it is, it's all different. But the one thing that we all have in common is we're all curious about what's across that veil. We are curious to know what is going on. And we're curious about all the secrets that this mysterious place holds. Uh, you know, and me and Irene have discussed, we've argued, we've fought like brother and sister over this. And it's just one of those things where if you don't, and I'm getting ready to stick my hand in the light socket, if you
Zing.
don't ask questions about anything across that veil, then something's wrong. I don't consider yourself a true paranormal investigator if you don't ask specific questions about what's across the veil. Now, I do understand that there are some things that gifted people aren't supposed to give that type of information out. But
Yep, that's why
it
I'll never
wouldn't
tell
be
you.
it wouldn't be me or you or anybody else on the panel. It wouldn't be us if we didn't ask anyway, because that's what we are. We're humans and we got curious minds, and
More you than
and
me.
yeah, yeah. But see, here's the thing: every now and then, bits, just small bits of information from across the veil get leaks out. Whether people believe it or not, there are always bits and bits of pieces that information that are leaked.
Terry,
And yes,
I have a piece of evidence that I saved that you're going to let me present and show here. So, you're talking about different people having different beliefs. Sometimes you have to kind of see things with your own eyes to question them. So I have a piece of evidence that maybe a little later we can share, and I'll show you. Okay. Really,
okay,
really cool
okay,
piece of evidence that I captured on
that
video.
is
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
All right,
But
you know
also
what?
to kind of to some of the things that you're saying, not just about like questioning what's on the other side of the veil. I totally agree with that. But also questioning the history of locations and not taking things at face value, and digging a little deeper, doing a little more research and kind of validating things with historical research and some online research with some credible sources, and if you start doing that with some of these locations, hi Christy, thanks for joining. If you start doing that with some of these locations, you can start finding what I like to call facta obscura. So if you
Hmm.
watch some of my shows, you'll know I'll present something that maybe you think right? You think you know the story of Lizzie Borden and Fall River. You
Hmm.
think you know the story of the Pied Piper. You think you know the story of the Villisca Axe Murder House. You need to
Hmm.
go back and watch my live streams, because I'm going to tell you something about all of those that you think you knew those stories. I'm going to tell you something you didn't know. Facta
Hmm.
obscura, the obscure facts.
Hmm.
Fall River, Massachusetts. You have no idea what happened there. It's not just Lizzie Borden. Again, my point being, looking into the history, not just questioning the paranormal stuff, but looking into the history, and then kind of utilizing that maybe to validate some evidence and that kind
Hmm.
of thing. Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you got. I am very curious. You know, Jennifer, There was a question that I put out on social media last week, and you wanted me to save that until the podcast.
Yep.
Now I am gonna re-ask that question to
Mhm.
you guys, and I want to hear what not just you have to say or Irene has to say. I want to know what the audience think also because I'm curious like that. So the question is, the first question of the day is, we always try to reach loved ones that are long gone, ones that have passed away, and I can't help but wonder why come that role has not been reversed? Why come no one has now never tried to attempt to reach anyone that is wanting to cross this side of the veil and come into the world? And I can't help but think and wonder if you know if the Hall of Souls really exists. Do all these people that are born, because we know they were born with souls, but are they conceived with souls also? If that makes sense to you.
Terry, it's so much has to do with one word, fellowship. We have to start with fellowship in the here and the now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that connecting with people in the here and now helps us connect with people on the other side. I think that we may connect with these other people. I think that our intentions, this is what I wanted to say to you, right? So we go into a paranormal investigation with the intention of communicating with the other side, whether it's communicating with our own loved ones or whether it's communicating with someone in a historical location. Um, and we go in with, we set our intention to be respectful and hopefully we'll receive evidence and so on and so forth. But personally, for myself, and some of my friends know this, I've started I've changed my how I've started my intentions before I go into an investigation or even before I go into something like this when I try to set intentions when I go into something. My first intention is fellowship. So my first intention tonight is to have fellowship with the people that I'm meeting online tonight. And then I'll go in and set up my intention to have a successful show and to, my intention is for the technology to work and my intention is to communicate with the people who are watching. But my first intention is fellowship with the living. And I am trying to consciously set that before I go into a live stream, before I go to work, before I go into a paranormal investigation. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really changing
Mm-hmm.
my relationship with people. It's changing how I view things. It's changing
Mm-hmm.
my paranormal investigations. By setting my intention of fellowship, I'm connecting with the living around me a little better, which helps everything.
So what you're saying is you have to have proper intentions. You have to positive intentions, positive energy, and and you have to put your head in the space that you want it to be in, so you can receive whatever it is that that you want to get out of that uh, investigation, or you want to get what you want to get right out of that, out of the podcast, and you want to have good vibes going in, you want to have good vibes going out, leaving it too. um that has a lot to do with it too, yes, because the more you set your mind to it, which means the more you put your intentions in it, the more outcome you'll get.
Irene, you said it perfectly. I totally agree. I think you and I are in complete agreement on that.
Yeah.
It's it makes a difference on both sides of things, how you
Hmm.
set your intention. And that goes a long way towards manifesting. things,
Yeah.
setting your
Yeah.
intentions. If your
Yeah.
intentions are nefarious or,
Yeah.
we're all human, you know what I mean? But, if you
Yeah.
put bad shit out there, bad shit's going to come back to you. And I'm human. I'm
Exactly.
not
Right.
perfect, but, right?
Exactly.
It's karma. It's a
Yeah.
bitch,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um,
But also, I want to say is that spirits will not come into your realm. Not not all of them. Some of them are different, but the ones who want to be respectful will not come into your realm unless you give it permission to come into your realm. They will not come into your domain without. That's what we have boundaries. That's what we're told. When you become an investigator, you learn your boundaries. You have to present your boundaries perfect to the spirit so they cannot cross those boundaries. But spirits do have boundaries, and they know they cannot come and see you unless you give them permission to come and see you. Like I told Terry many times, you have to give permission for them to come and even be with you, because they won't. They'll just, no, I'm here, you're there, I'm gonna stay here unless you tell me that I can come and see you. I will, but if you don't, I won't.
and then you have to, when you give them that permission to come and see you, then you have to set more boundaries. Like,
Exactly.
you can't do anything bad to me, and you can't interrupt my sleep, and you can't stay here, and you can't, so on and so forth. And again, all of that is part of setting your intentions,
Yep. Exactly.
and my intentions are to be protected. So yeah, Irene, we're definitely on the same wavelength on these thoughts here. Yeah.
See,
What do you
Terry's got
think,
the
You know,
wrong
Terry?
for
something.
What do
See,
you think?
he's got, and I
You
go,
you said it, two against one. Not that you're against us, but I just, you asked the question, and Irene and I both answered, I think, in kind. Ghost Quest Solo. Hi, Jeff. Oh, so many of my friends are here watching. This is so exciting.
yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully some new friends. I don't know who some of you are, but I hope to see you around. Um, very exciting. Anyways, all right. What else, Terry?
I got well, I did an investigation last week, no, 2 weeks ago, and uh, a lot of people think that spirits aren't bounded by time. You know, so why is it? Because this investigation was clearly during the day. So why do you guys think 90% of paranormal investigating are being investigated at night after dark? Is it something special about the darkness where the spirits actually feel more comfortable compared during the day?
I feel personally, this is my personal belief, and certainly I do. I have investigated during the day. I have investigations during the day set up, but I feel, just speaking off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to mind is that the nighttime is quieter in
Mhm.
general. The nighttime is quieter, and is light pollution. So the nighttime is quieter here, the nighttime's quieter here. So I think for me, that maybe helps set a tone, set a mood, help me focus maybe. I think that's part of it. And certainly and yeah, the veil is thinner, and we all know what 3 a.m. is, and that kind of thing. Although I never make it till 3 a.m. very, very rarely. I mean, an investigation, I
Like
make it till 3 a.m. I'll tell you,
I'm
I
done.
get some damn good evidence going till midnight, I can tell you that. Um, but yeah, so anyways,
Christy,
yeah.
Christy, that is my next question for this young lady.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you guys can read her comment, but is it possible that the haunted can be haunted?
Well, I think haunted is haunted. Christy had made a comment earlier about there's really no time and special for activity to happen. We know this. It can happen at any time of day or night. But But again, like I said, I think that the nighttime is just is quieter. Um, but
Yeah.
I don't know, lost my point there. But no, I think what she meant haunted is haunted, meaning that a haunted house or a haunted location is a haunted location, whether it's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, remember what I just said about nighttime at dark, 2 a.m. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot quieter.
Mm-hmm.
The lights are darker. It's more
Mm-hmm.
peaceful. There's less human interaction. There's less
Mm-hmm.
electronic interaction. Does that make sense to you? Do you kind of get that where you'd be more likely to see or hear or interact with something that you may completely ignore in the daytime or may completely not be aware of in the daytime simply because of just regular shit that goes on around you during the course of people doing people stuff.
Yeah.
Mm, right. You know,
Mm.
Christy has
But there are more
another.
rules at nighttime than there are at daytime. We have more
Yeah,
rules in this country for nighttime than it is for the daytime.
yeah. Christy also has. My next comment was about the witching hour, which she just had the 3 a.m. I go to sleep at 3 a.m. You know
Yeah,
what makes
I get up
as
at 3
for
a.m.
paranormal investigators, what makes the witching hour so important to us, and why should we trust it?
I don't know. That's my answer to that. I know it has a reputation. I've seen it on, on the TV shows, but personally, I don't know. And so if anybody else, Jeff said he Ghost Quest Solo said he has yet to experience anything in the daytime. That's interesting, but
Very interesting.
think it depends on the location, but your senses are alive. Again, back to that nighttime thing. Your senses are alive because you don't have all those other distractions going on around you, including I don't know about you guys. I hear overhead electric lights. Does anybody else hear them when they're on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I'm not crazy. I
Mm-hmm.
hear so again, you're talking about what like I know light pollution and noise pollution. Turn
Mm-hmm.
that off. Maybe I'm gonna hear or see something that I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't normally. Yeah.
And it's crazy, guys. And this is one of the biggest questions. Once again, I'm gonna stick my hand down that light socket.
Darn, here we go again.
Here we go. And you know what? And I got the right people on the podcast that can answer this question for me. How many estimated people do you think have died on this planet? 100 billion, maybe. If there's so many people that have died, that have passed away, why is
Well,
it that we can only reach out to a certain amount of people within the last 200 years or so?
well, you guys are from Texas. I'm in New England. I think two things. One is we reach out to who we know and in what context we know. But put that aside. Come on. I'm in New England. We've captured indigenous or native sounds on audio. You probably have in Texas as well. I've heard you talk about the Alamo. Come on, tell me there's not that kind. You know what I mean? It's not just the last 200 years. There's stuff that goes way back further than that. Um,
True.
and we also may not always know what it is. Certainly I'm a firm believer in light anomalies and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and so I just can't pinpoint. And now don't get me wrong, I investigate a lot of places. This is New England, a lot of places that are historical, that are like 200 years old,
Mm-hmm.
250 years old. So there's definitely that factor, but I firmly believe, and yeah, look at what Sybil said, past lives. I firmly believe that what evidence we capture is not necessarily from 200 years ago or even 50 years ago. I think that we capture things that we just don't know what it is and
Mm-hmm.
how far it goes back. For example, the Oliver House in Middleborough, Massachusetts, which is in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of stuff there. Now, the Peter Oliver House goes back 200 and something years, and it's very historical in the building of the United States. And I'm not going to get into that exact history, but my point is that land. Now, come on,
Mm-hmm.
if English settlers have lived there and
Mm-hmm.
prospered for 250 years. Certainly somebody else lived there and prospered long before
Mm-hmm.
that because
Yeah.
they were smart enough to build on fertile land and where there's water and that kind of thing. So if the American history there goes back 250 years, what we would assume to be some type of indigenous population would go back at least 2,000 years. And then what goes
Mm-hmm.
back further than that? Again, here in New England, we've got someplace like America's Stonehenge, which is just probably about 55 miles from where I am. I'm here in Boston. This is a location that was a living community that's built out of stone and built into the ground, and there are sacrifice tables with drainage things drilled into the wood, the
Mm-hmm.
granite. And so to again, yeah, we do try to communicate with stuff that's 200 years old or whatever, but I think that even if we can't always identify it, there are things much older than that
Mm-hmm.
that either we do communicate with or we do capture evidence of.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe don't always know what it is. I think that's the big thing about the paranormal. We never know
Mm-hmm.
100% what it is that we've captured. We don't. And there have been times where, again, to reference the Peter Oliver house, I can tell you there were times where you speak French, you parlez-vous français, and you get French EVPs back, and you get French answers back on the spirit
Mm-hmm.
box. And so maybe it's 300 years back or whatever. You know what I mean? There's just things that I think go
Yeah.
further back, and we don't always know. We can assume and we can try to put things in context, but we don't always know. So again, the Peter Oliver house being in the Bridgewater Triangle,
Mm-hmm.
that location goes back thousands of years to a native population in Massachusetts, but there's
Mm-hmm.
haunted swamps there. For crying out loud, there's Bigfoot sightings, there's
Yeah.
Puckwudgie sightings.
Yeah.
These are short, porcupine-like, gremlin-like tricksters who try to trick you into the woods. They won't
Mm-hmm.
harm you directly, but they're tricksters. Trick you into the
They're like
woods.
incubus and succubus and things like that. I'm here in Japan. I'm not in the United States, so I'm here in Tokyo, Japan. So I have samurai warriors come up to me. I have been haunted by them. I have been attacked by them. I've been like no, but yeah, there's some stuff that way in the past that I've seen and I've heard and I've felt. And I said, oh gosh, here we go again. Like
Mhm, mhm.
jeez, like why me? Like I'm saying, why me on top? And I said, dumbass is here again, and she never learns. Like,
Because you asked for it, Irene, because that's what you're doing here. You asked for it. That's why. But exactly. And once again, Terry, Irene and I are both agreeing that things that we have captured or interacted with or whatever, however you want to put it,
mhm.
definitely,
Yep,
definitely further back
yep,
um,
yep,
than and definitely a lot of
yep,
interaction with things in the last 250 years,
yep.
um, but interactions with things that go way further back than that as well. Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
funny, it's funny, because spirits here, they're like this. I see you. Ah ha ha! I got you pegged. It's not like the spirits in America at all. I try not to deal with the spirits here because they're
Mhm.
different. They're on a different level. Like no, but I will do the spirits in America. 'Cause it's a lot. It's a lot more tamer. Let's put it that way. But I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit easier to deal with. It's a little bit easier to I don't know, you can deal with them. You can talk to them. You can say, okay, what are you here for? What is your problem? And the ones here that they'll say, I'm not going to tell you anything. Like you can go, jump off a cliff. Like yeah, it's just on a different type of level, and it's more scarier here than it is there. So stuff like that. And plus, we got rules here. Like you won't believe. Like oh, there's so much rules you won't believe. The one rule is after 3 o'clock, you're not allowed to look in a mirror. Period. And yeah, so I've learned not to look in the mirror. I've learned to keep my head low when I go to the bathroom. And you notice I don't have any mirrors in my rooms because you're not allowed to have any mirrors in your living space. Only above in the bathroom where you brush your teeth, and that's it. That's the culture here. And the hauntings are like phenomenal. Like over the bridge and over Dale, over everywhere. So you're used to it. And you just, yeah, I'm not gonna do this.
Christy's asking you an interesting question. Irene, she's asking if it's because of gins, and I think Christy, that's a fascinating
mm,
question because gins are something that
yeah.
really pique my interest in that culture of being. I was talking about the Pukwudgie, that trickster kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wouldn't the jinn almost be a trickster kind of
It is.
entity?
We got so many different. We call them they they means spirits. We got um. mm, I can't say it. I don't know what it's. I'm sorry. I'm stuck because
Okay,
I can't
that's
say it in
okay.
English. But we've got different kinds of spirits, and we got different kind of tricksters. We got all kinds of, and yokai. It's called yokai in Japan. Yokai is one that we call tricksters. Um. And they come in your home. That's why you abide by these certain rules. Keep your house clean. Don't walk in your house with shoes on. Don't open up your umbrellas in the house. Make sure your umbrellas are in the entrance of you, where you go outside. Certain things, keeping your entrance room clean, making sure nothing's cluttered when you walk in your house, or anything cluttered when you throw away your garbage. Make sure your garbage place is clean and neat, and everything. It's just like there's we got thousands of rules that we have to abide by every single day, and it's it's uh it's rubbed into you when you're born. You learn, and then you're taught these rules, and then you go by, so that they're embedded in your head when you're very young, so you learn them and you abide by them automatically, so you don't question anything.
Very, very different culture. I mean, thank you so much for sharing. I honestly, I had no idea just how different. I guess I kind of knew things were different, but thank you for sharing that very personal information. Appreciate that.
Mm,
Thank you.
let's stick with different cultures. Uh,
Okay.
guys, we know that you know there's millions of
Me too.
paranormal investigators. There's millions of paranormal investigators out there, and they
Yeah.
all do all type of weird things.
Mm-hmm.
But in one, Jennifer, what are the one popular paranormal method that you think is total BS, but other teams like?
Mm.
I don't have much faith anymore in EMF detectors and REM pods. I
Oh wow.
find that some electronics, A, can be easily manipulated by an outside force deliberately and unseen, and
Mm-hmm.
B, easily manipulated by an unseen force not deliberately because there's always one person who doesn't have their phone in airplane mode and is sitting in the corner texting.
Mm-hmm.
So I
What do you think about
so
cat
I
balls? What
I
do you think
think
about cat
that
balls?
unless I can, and this never happens, unless I can get into a location with nobody else there, with an EMF detector, really, and do a baseline throughout the entire building. The way I
Mm,
do in my home, like when I test my own equipment in my house, I know where the electrical wires connect to my house, and I walk around with that EMF detector, and it does nothing, nothing, nothing until I get to that spot and it lights up, and it's
boom.
supposed to. Or I'll put it on my bed, and then I'll text somebody, and or I'll get an
Yeah.
email and watch it light up. You know what I mean? So my and I've also seen instances where these electronics have cooperated what I would almost say a little bit too well.
Hmm.
Um, that that made me a little skeptical.
How about cat
So
balls?
Interesting.
How about
so
cat balls?
Mom, I love I love cat balls. Boy, does that sound screwy. But seriously, but
Except for
but
the cat who
seriously
lost their
though,
balls.
I mean what I like about them is you've got a really simple motion detector. You've got a
Mm,
really simple motion detector. That's why I like them because I find them to be reliable. But also, there's other types of motion detectors. I have a little, it's about this big, another Timu buy. Sorry, I bought from Timu, but it's a little light about this big, and
mhm,
it's a motion detector light. So um I personally find that the cat balls work well. And certainly they can malfunction because you're like, if something works too well all the time,
mhm.
it's you got to question it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's yes, things shouldn't
Especially
work
at
too well all the time.
crickety floors, and you got. I mean, just because it goes off doesn't mean that it's the spirit who's talking to you.
Yeah, I want
That's
to
the thing
say
I like to say.
I agree with two things in the comments. Previously possessed, that's my friend Kerry. Some apps are totally fake, but then some apps we've experienced incredible results that were
Yeah.
amazing. But also, Christy said she'll use her common sense. I totally agree. I mean, now
Yeah.
the flip side of the question that Terry just asked, what do I not believe in so much? And don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, I think EMF and REM pod are fun to use and have their place in investigations. Okay, so I
Hmm.
don't say don't use them at all. But common sense and a night vision camera. Those are my two of my favorite tools to use. Night vision camera captures a lot of stuff. And a good night vision camera also has a good digital audio that's good
Hmm.
for capturing EVPs
Hmm.
and that kind of thing. But certainly common sense. You have to trust your feelings, A,
Hmm.
and you have to say what you feel so to see if other people are experiencing something similar, so but yeah, Christy, I totally agree. Your common sense and a night vision camera, good night vision camera. Yep.
I totally agree.
My two
I
favorite
totally,
things to investigate with.
I go
you
in
know,
naked. I don't do any. I don't do any. I don't do equipment. I don't like equipment. It buggers me up. So I like going in, like we call it naked. But yeah.
But I understand that as well, and I'll tell you for electronic like gadgets, so to speak,
Hmm.
I I have a Phasma box on my laptop. And Sybil is a good friend of mine, and she's a psychic medium too. We've had some great experiences together. But I have a Phasma box on my laptop, and it does two things. It works like an SB7. It sweeps radio frequencies, and you can set it in reverse. And it also has a bank of, I don't know, 5,000 words or something like that. So it's a combination of both.
Hmm.
And some of my friends that are watching tonight may know, some of my friends like Sue and Nathan know that we've had some really oddly accurate responses with the Phasma box. We've got names loud and clear through this piece of equipment. So you purchase it. I had to buy it. It's not available for like tablets and phones. It's only on like computers and laptops. But it's one of the best pieces of equipment I purchased. And I have a lot of equipment, and most of it I don't use, but the Phasma box I do use quite a bit. It's really good for like a spirit box session. And Sybil also Sybil uses a crystal ball and scrying as well. So I mean, there's just so many. You could ask any person who's here. Like Irene said one thing, I said another. Ask any person who's watching. We all have our least favorites, and we all have our favorites. Like I want to use my Phasmabots all the time. And and I'm
And
sure
I
people get
always,
sick of me saying that. So, you gotta see what other people like doing. And then other people, I'm not so good at Estes method. And some of my friends are
yeah.
really, really good at it.
And, I always like to keep it. I mean, I do have some devices that a lot of people don't have, and a lot of people do have, but I like to keep it simple as much as I can. A lot of people don't realize a simple hotel bell is probably one of the most useful paranormal devices that a lot of people don't use.
And then he uses me
And,
too,
it,
for
and
that.
it's real cheap. You can get one for 99 cents at the dollar store or wherever. And all it is tap, bing, bing, one bing for yes, bing, bing, two bings for no. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets simple all across the board with
Mhm.
everybody.
I
It
think
doesn't
you
take a
you
lot of
brought up a
energy.
good point, Terry. I feel like when I first started doing this, I wanted to get every gadget, and I did. And now that I have every gadget, I'm scaling it back. I'm
Yeah.
scaling it back. Now, when I'm going someplace and filming someplace for like an episode or Danford, oh, I've been doing this new thing lately called the human pendulum. Are you familiar with that?
Want a bit-
No,
a bit-
no, I
No.
can't say that I have.
Okay, so last couple of investigations I went on, one was the USS Salem, which is a retired Navy ship,
Mhm.
which I can actually see from my front yard. But and then also recently, where was it? Oh, at a Masonic temple. So the human pendulum, a person stands in the middle, and there's one person behind you and one person in front of you, and the person in the middle focuses, and it's like a dowsing rod effect. You say, okay, we're going to ask the spirit some questions, and can you show us what your answer would be for yes? And the person in the middle would lean one way or the other, and okay, forward, that indicates yes. All right, can you show us what a no would mean? And then maybe lean backwards, okay, and that means no. And then you'd ask a series of questions, and you've got a person on either side just so that you can just tap them so they don't fall over either way. But the human pendulum, which I have done a couple of times, being in the middle, I try not to even listen to the questions that are being asked. I just try to focus on the energy, and whatever happens, I'm telling you, it comes through my fingers. I have my hands by my side, comes through my fingers, and I just go with whatever energy. And people ask questions during an investigation, and yes or no questions, and they get answered in that manner. Um, and so far it's been really exciting because I feel like I've been able to focus. I've been with some people that I really trust to do this, because the other thing is you have to come out of it afterwards. It's almost like a trance like state.
Exactly.
Really, um so
I
thank you,
you
Christy. Thank you very much. So that is the human pendulum, and I actually look forward to actually trying to do that more. And really, I I find that after that kind of session, almost like a channeling session, I don't feel drained. I feel energized.
mm,
So I'm not you would think that something like that, a 15-minute, 10-minute session of doing and you're on your feet, would exhaust you,
mhm.
but I feel very energetic afterwards. Um, So, and Kat, you're right. You got to work with different kind of equipment to see what works with you.
I-
Like I said, some people
Right
are
on.
really successful with Estes method, and and my friend Sue does pendulum work. You know what I mean? So different things for, and I'll tell you, it's really funny. I feel really funny talking about the human pendulum like I was just doing it. Anyways, really weird, really weird. Um,
You
Hi,
know,
Kimmy. Nice to see you.
you
Anyways,
guys, and I've never, Irene, I don't even think I've ever asked you this question before. But
Uh-oh.
since I got you guys on the show, I've asked myself this question. I already know what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
If you guys,
shoot.
huh?
What?
If you guys, if you guys found really proof
Mm-hmm.
that there are ghosts, how would you guys handle that evidence of that significance? Would you share it with the world? Would you share it with the scientific community? Or would you, I mean, because once you share this, life, I mean, this place, this planet is going to change forever.
you ask a really interesting question because this is the day and age of the internet. And once you put something out there, it's out there forever. That's
Yeah.
part A. And part B, it is so easy to steal anybody's photos and videos off the internet. And don't tell me it's not. Okay. And it's so easy to steal music. It's so easy to steal everything off the internet. So when I started doing paranormal investigating and I started becoming gals, almost like a brand, part of what I wanted to do was share my evidence on my Facebook page. And then
Hmm.
I said, holy shit, we all know somebody this has happened to, with something of mine is going to get taken and end up somewhere. So I'm very, very cautious who and how and where I share my stuff with, right? Like I'm going to share a piece of evidence with you tonight, but somebody's going to have to go through an awful lot of work to get this clip out of here and try to claim it as their own. It's not like I'm embedding something or, you know what I mean? I'm going to share it on this live stream. Certainly it's doable, but I think that again it's a little more effort that way. Part of me wants to like the thing I want to show you guys tonight, and I hope the video will play. The thing I want to show you tonight, I when I saw this, I wanted to shout it from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
And then I said, I really can't just put this clip out there because two things are going to happen. A, some here I go with A and B again. Somebody's going to steal it, and B, people are going to bash me for it and they're going to think it's fake. And I can tell you it is not fake and it is mind blowing. And the last thing I would even say about this clip is after I saw this clip, I said, I don't ever have to go on another paranormal investigation as long as I live, because I'm never ever gonna capture something like this again. I can hang up my paranormal investigator hat because this is the holy frickin' grail. So I hope
Oh,
this
yeah.
sucker plays tonight because yeah, I have, but again, putting the point about putting it out there on the internet is again, I really wanted to share this clip with the world, and I've got other pictures I want to share with the world, and you really just can't because it'll get stolen or it'll get bashed, and I can't risk what I have to show you tonight. I can't risk this being bashed because I know it's freaking real. It's
I'm
so real it isn't funny.
I'm the opposite. I can't show anything unless it's cleansed because I know it'll come after you. I know it'll come out and hurt you. I know it'll come out and haunt you. That's why I don't show anything what I have unless I know it's safe, because spirits here are very different than the ones in the United States, and they're more scary, they're more vengeance, they're more jealous. So I don't show anybody, and I don't tell anybody what I do. Even to this day, I haven't told a single soul what I do, except for my kids and my next door neighbor and my neurologist, who I see when I get headaches. But I get
But I
migraine headaches.
mean,
But that's the only
I
person
I
I
mean,
talk to.
look at all the people in the comments tonight. Certainly some of them are friends of you guys, but you say you don't tell people what you do. I don't tell a lot of people what I do either. But this group of people is the people that I do it with.
Yeah, yeah.
These people possess furniture. Dan Burns. I investigate with these people. Cat was on paranormal panel, so these people do know about it. So I do try to be cautious with who I choose. There's some people like, that's what you that's why God made Facebook DM.
Well, I work with Terry.
Right?
I work
And
with Timmy Corpse. I work with Terry.
yep.
And there are some small groups of people that I will work with,
Mhm.
but as far as out there is, no, because I'll be thrown in the loony bin, because in Japan you don't talk about paranormal, period. And
Yeah, it
I've learned
is.
that, and I've known that.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll just keep it to myself. Thank you.
It's it's an oddly you're going to get one of two reactions, right? They're either going to look at you like you've got two heads, or they're going to say, "Tell me more. Tell me more." I
I
mean,
haven't
tell me
heard that
more.
at all from anybody here. So I just, yeah, well, I can't, and this haunted country is really haunted, right? So, there's so much paranormal out there. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to go at your front door and boom,
Yeah.
there's something there,
Yeah.
right?
But you have to recognize signs when you see them. That's another part of paranormal investigating,
Mm,
Terry, and going back to that point about maybe finding things 250 years old or whatever. We have signs around us all the time that
yep.
we don't know what they're signs. We assume that a cardinal is the sign of my grandmother or my father or my passed away dog. How do we know it's not the sign of the people who lived here long before us? I believe that cardinals are a sign of a visitation, but it may be just something, but so making 2 points there. So, older things like we were talking about, but also again recognizing signs when you see them. You can't be, if you're oblivious to the signs, you're going to be oblivious to the signs. You've got to open your eyes. Scales have to fall away from your eyes.
Mm,
That's right, Christy, they are everywhere in the
yep.
form of numbers. They're in the form of hearing songs on the radio when you're in a certain mood, or predicting the next song on
Hmm.
the radio. You just a feather. Oh my God, I was visited the other night by my dog that passed away in my sleep. She visited me, and it was so real. And I believe she visited me. It's not the first time. So wait, for me, knowing those signs, not just waking up and going, "Oh, that was a nice dream." No, I woke up and said, "Oh, Sadie visited me last night," and I just felt so, again, recognizing the signs
Yeah. Yeah.
and synchronicities. Christy, yes, I like you, Christy.
Oh, you gotta watch what you say to these people. All right, guys. One thing that there's a fine line on everything in the paranormal community.
Hmm.
And one of the lines that a lot of people have a tendency to want to cross is provoking. Now, a lot of people, like I say, that's a fine line. There's provoking, there's harassment. Provoking, harassment. Who decides the lines between provoking and harassment?
Mm.
Well, I think maybe let's talk about the line between maybe provoking and a little sarcasm. Sometimes a little humor, a little sarcasm in an investigation. Provoking provoking is not always a negative thing. There you go. That's what I mean to say. Provoking is not always a negative thing.
Yep.
Harassing absolutely is a negative thing. So
Yep.
being provocative
Hmm.
doesn't mean you're pushing somebody, whether it's a spirit or a human, to get nasty. To provoke or be provocative means to
Hmm.
elicit a thoughtful kind of response from somebody or something. So to provoke means you go through certain steps to elicit a response, and that means sometimes you may be sarcastic or playful.
Hmm.
um so provoking and harassment is never a good thing. And
No.
I think that, again, we were talking about, what you put out, you get back. You put out negativity, you really run the risk of getting negativity back. So you can provoke and not necessarily be harassing or negative. So again, to be provoke, to be provocative, think of it that way.
Hmm.
Again, you're eliciting a certain response from something, so you may want to provoke in certain ways by asking certain questions, but not disrespectfully or not in a harassing way. And like Joyce said, respect always. So
Yeah,
provoking is
It,
not
it,
necessarily disrespectful.
how far should we go as paranormal investigators? Because I'm online, I'm always on YouTube, and I'm always looking for new ideas. Now this one here threw me completely out of the box. I mean, these guys are thinking
Christy nailed
outside
it
the box.
earlier. When Christy said about common sense being her favorite tool,
Hmm.
Christy said you have to use your common sense, Terry, because so much of an investigation, put all the gadgets aside, so much of an investigation is your common sense and trusting your feeling and trusting your gut. You,
What about
if you're an experienced paranormal investigation investigator, you've been in a room where the mood has shifted, the
yeah,
air has shifted, or and everybody feels it, and you know it's time to leave or end your session or do that kind of thing. So Christy really nailed it. It's about the common sense and knowing when maybe you have crossed the line, feeling that, reading the feeling in the room.
yeah. I
okay?
I
But
I have to
this
tell you a story. Terry and I, we went to a museum. We went to this little house in on the property, and I was told to blank off. And I said, and then Terry said, "Okay, we're leaving." I said, "No, Terry, you're gonna stay right there. We're gonna talk." Like, why are you telling me to blank off, right? I said, "I came here with good energy, with with good vibes, good response, and I don't appreciate you telling me to blank off." And they said, "Okay, let's go." I said, "No, we're not gonna go. You're gonna stand right there and we're gonna talk." And you know what? It changed. He changed. He quit being so rude and started the energy started getting lighter and it started getting less he was less angry at me and he quit telling me to blank off. So yeah, you you know, it
You,
depends. It
you,
depends, you know. And
yeah.
sometimes they
So
like to push your buttons and and if you don't let it, and if you don't be so sensitive about it, and you say, "Okay, we're not gonna do this," like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, you can say blank off to me all you want, but I'm not gonna. No, we're gonna stand here and you're gonna talk to me. And I said,
setting those boundaries, Irene, what we said early on when we were chatting, when we first
"Yeah,
started chatting,
yeah,
setting those boundaries. I'll interact with you, but you cannot do this to me. And I'm setting
yeah,
those boundaries.
yeah, yeah."
Good
It was
questions,
funny
Terry.
because
Really good
his hair
questions.
changed immediately, and he wasn't so pissy at me, and it was kind of funny. And then Terry started
how
to talk, and then I started to talk, and then, you know what? He didn't say anything nasty afterwards, and it was kind of funny because they said, "See, Terry had changed." He goes, "Yeah, you're right." But
mhm. how
stuff
far
like
how far? Yes. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Irene. Finish. You can finish.
it stuff like that happens. So if the spirit's saying something negative to you, doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that they're gonna they're gonna be mean to you or they're gonna throw a rock at you. No, they're just trying to. It's just a way of deflecting in a way. You could say that.
Yeah. How far are we willing to go to get that evidence that everybody is so craving to have? Because I was on YouTube, and these this one paranormal team was I forgot where they're at. They're on an old military base. I think this might have been in the UK, and they decided that they should bring in a lady in her underwear
Oh gosh.
to get a response from all of the male, well, it's military base, majority of them are male, and to see if they got a response. Of
Post
course,
Christie's
they got a
comment.
response out of that one,
Post
but
Christie's
how far
comment.
are we willing to go?
Post Christie's comment. Curiosity kills common sense.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
crossed the line. Right. And Bruce, hi, Bruce, said my good friend Bruce. That is extremely disrespectful to everybody involved, to the people whose location it is. There's one thing, you know what? It's not a stage performance, and that's a stage
Oh,
performance,
yeah.
right?
mhm.
There you go. That's a stage performance.
You don't
And
get.
that's absolutely crossing any boundary and any line that they're for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't speak for anybody else, but I think at that point I would have to exit stage left. Thanks, And listen, I've only left one investigation early before, and I'll tell you, I left the investigate. I won't say who it was and where it was, but the behavior of the hosts was outrageous. And screw you. Keep my freaking money. I am out of here. So not going to tolerate anything like that. I would have packed up my shit and left.
But a lot of them are like that. A lot of them will go in there laughing their guts out, cracking jokes, saying a lot of stupid stuff, and then
Well,
and they
everything in
expect
context.
to
I
get
mean, it's
some.
you know, have a good. If look, if it stops being, I gotta say it's certainly a serious thing, but it's also got to have. I remember I said fellowship. It's got to have a little element of fun, and you gotta. If you take it too seriously, I think you run the risk of really being negative or allowing negative things. You've got to have that a little bit of goofball and cracking
Mm,
jokes, Christy.
to a
Not
point.
cracking, but you got to have your downtime, your hair downtime, and I think that's bringing in that little bit of I don't know, a little bit of a positive break in
To a
things.
point. To a point, I agree.
Yeah,
But I mean, you can't be an idiot and go into places get yeah, you blah blah blah. Like
that
I mean, when I go into
that
place, when I go into
disrespectful factor.
yeah, extremely serious when when I go in there. I do my job. When I finish, I can say something light. I can be lighthearted. But when I go in there, I am doing my job, and I'm gonna help Terry, and I'm gonna say, okay, there's that, there's that, there's that. I'm gonna point out the places. I'm gonna point out the places is dangerous. I'm gonna
Being
point out
respectful.
not
That's
to
what it
touch
comes down
anyone
to.
here.
And not harassing,
Yeah,
Terry. That's
But
exactly,
not
exactly. And
harassing, and just being respectful.
but
You
I'm
start
but
losing respect and you're in big trouble.
yeah,
but
exactly.
Christy, I'm gonna put if you guys would see what Christy said. Christy said curiosity what gets us in trouble. But
Yeah,
ain't curiosity what makes us human?
Well, I gotta tell
Curiosity is
you,
what makes us human.
I, I
So
was you have everything in context, right? Everything in context. I was at a location where we were someplace where somebody was doing an Estes method and they kept saying the word dummy, dummy. And this is an old house, okay, an old haunted mansion, right? And that she kept saying that, and there was somebody in the room who was saying, "That's not nice. Don't say that." I'm like, we don't really know what they're saying here. She's saying dumb, dummy. Well, two things actually come out of that, right? First of all, we were standing right next to a dumbwaiter in this old mansion. It was non-functioning, but it took us a while to realize. We didn't realize that till much later. And the other thing, there had been a caretaker to this house who was hard of hearing and was deaf and what they called dumb at the time.
yeah.
So to put that, to have somebody being like, no, you got to hear things out. You've got to ask some questions. You've got to, again, context has everything to do with everything, not just with the spirit world, but with the living context. Just calling somebody a dummy is not cool, not good, not politically correct, not nice, and 100 things. It's not.
No,
But in context, dumb and dummy had a place in the 1890s in the basement of that location.
Yeah.
So to start arguing or putting something down without, I don't know, hearing out, without being respectful, right? That's what we're talking about. Without hearing out the entire context, or hearing out having the session and then afterwards discussing it, or reviewing the evidence and then coming to some conclusions, you know, because you don't always know the context of things. So I
And
think,
that could wind you up in a
yeah,
whole lot of trouble if you're not
yeah,
careful.
that was a really interesting experience for me, because I just knew that we shouldn't be saying don't say that, because I knew there had to be some type of context, even though it wasn't obvious at the moment that there was a dumbwaiter there, and we didn't find out till later about the deaf and quote unquote dumb
Yeah.
caretaker. So there was a context to this without it being meaning to be mocking or negative in any way,
Mm,
you know.
Because
Hmm.
they used to
yeah.
lock them up in a
Wait.
room, and that's
Wait.
them all come.
Wait a minute, guys. Wait. I got to respond to this comment. Okay, Christy, your comment is yes, it makes us human, but still curiosity is unknown, and that what makes and that what we seek. Uh, you know, I can't say that curiosity is unknown.
Mm-mm.
Uh, I might have to disagree with you on that, uh, because everybody knows what curiosity is. It's something that a kid picks up, something that shouldn't be touched. A
Yeah.
kid's gonna be curiosity on that. A
Mm-hmm.
kid, I mean, we are curiosity. Curiosity is defined by so many things as
Mm-hmm.
us as humans. I don't see how it's unknown to us.
Yeah.
So I have to disagree with you on that, my friend.
And there are some places where you shouldn't be curious, and you shouldn't be poking your nose into, that you're gonna get into a whole lot of trouble. And well, maybe not there as much here, but yeah, there are some places that I pick and choose my poison. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say to that one.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And I don't want to be curious in certain places because I know I'm gonna get into big fat trouble, and I know it's gonna be hard for me to come out of it, or get out of it. And and that's where you have other people who help you around you, like my children. They're all okay. They're all gifted, but um it's when you do something that you shouldn't be doing, or you're going someplace where you shouldn't be going, and you know damn well you should be going there, but you do go there. Yeah. And and that's
I
where your
mean,
curiosity has to
yeah.
stop.
I mean, to be honest with you, everybody's curious about life.
Mm,
If we wasn't, that wouldn't make us human.
yeah.
We're curious about every little thing on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And some
And
things off this planet as well. I'm curious about not just paranormal investigating.
Yep.
Aren't you curious about? I mean, Terry, one of the things I said to people about watching your show is that you'll take on any subject, supernatural, paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, the ancient alien theory. Yeah,
Mm,
I am not a firm believer in the ancient alien theory, but I am a firm believer that there is a possibility that there's truth in some of the ancient alien theory,
yeah.
and so not just answers here, but answers off this planet as well. What is
A-
the unknown, Christy? The unknown. That's what Christy was saying. We our curiosity. We seek
I
the
think
answers
there are a lot of
unknown
places
here
that
and
we don't
there.
know. I think there's a lot of things that happen that we don't know. I think that there are a lot of places that haven't been discovered yet. And why? The big question is why and how and where and when are the three big questions. And I think that there's a lot to learn out there. There's a lot to learn under the sea. There's a lot to learn in
Yeah.
certain areas around the world. And
I mean, excuse me, don't. don't they say that we know more about the surface of the moon than we know about what's underneath our oceans right now? And to
We don't.
me,
We
that's
don't.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mind blowing that we know more about the moon, the surface of the moon, than we do about what goes on under our own oceans. So
We
we
don't.
don't know what's under
We
there. And I again talk about ancient alien theory and other things.
yeah.
I believe that there are things under the sea that we don't know about in forms of animals, in forms of
Yeah.
missing. I don't know if it's the city of Atlantis, but I believe that there are, and again, same with the Egyptians. Like I think that there are just things that we
Yeah.
don't know. And Christy, I believe in reptilians. Me and you got to have a talk offline one of these days, girl. Um, and yeah, boy, I'll tell you, yeah, I don't want to say I believe in all this stuff, but I believe in the possibility of many, many things. Listen, we've been going for over an hour, so I would really like to share this piece of evidence with you, and then I've got to get a good night's sleep because I do have a paranormal investigation tomorrow night
Okay.
with
Well,
some of these folks in this panel that are watching tonight. So I want to see if I can pull up this video. So if everybody can bear with me for just a moment,
Hmm.
okay.
if I may. So I'm going to try to pull up a video file and then you're going to somehow have to let me share um this file and I hope it works.
Good.
Okay. So can you let me present somehow?
Yeah, I got
Is
you
there
right here. I'm added
okay.
to the stage.
Okay, great. All right, bear with me guys. So let me set this clip up for you. Some good friends of mine, Sue and Nathan and Christy and myself went to this place in somewhere on the North Shore of Massachusetts. I don't really want to give the name of the place out, but it's a mansion from the I think the 1800s. It was a belonged to the family of a sea captain, and we had an amazing night investigating there. And there were two things that kind of happened. And the first, I hope you all have a good bright screen. I'm going to show you a mirror and watch in the mirror in the middle section on the right hand side. You'll see some kind of weird stuff happening in the mirror and I'm gonna let's see if I can kind of narrate it as it's going on. There's two parts to this clip. So there's this. Can you see in the mid on the right? There's just kind of like a little foggy thing going on inside the mirror. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now wait for it to disappear. Well, it's gone. So I would recommend that you guys go back and watch this. Make sure your screen is nice and bright. That one's not, but that's not what I came here to show you. This
Oh
is
dear,
what I
you know
came
that.
here to show
Ah,
you.
there are
This,
lots of things going on in the house.
it's you, I mean, you have no idea. Wait for it. You ready? Two shadow figures passing right before the camera. Did you see them? The first one is quick. The second one is a little slower and more formed to a human with a head and shoulders and that kind of thing. I'm going to play it again. I hope you guys can catch this. And of course, the clip is slowed down because when it's at regular speed, you can hardly see it. One,
Mm-hmm.
two.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one
Hmm.
clearly has a human form.
That's interesting.
So, all right, you can take that down, Terry. Thank you. Um, I just wanted to thank you, Christy. I just that and anybody who films any kind of investigations, you know, when you watch your footage, you literally pour over things frame by frame. So, I mean, if I blinked, I would have missed this. I was like, what the hell was that? So I had to slow it down. I brightened the clip a little bit, but that's all I did to it was slow it down and brighten it. So you see the first one go by really fast, and then the second one goes by a little slower, and the second one again with a very clearly shaped head and shoulders. And I believe that I captured two shadow figures at a haunted sea captain's mansion on the North Shore of Massachusetts last
I
summer.
see a man and I see a woman in that.
A lot happened at that house that
Yeah.
night. Mm-hmm.
I also see children. There's a little girl running around. I think there's a tiny baby boy there too.
I will offline. I will send you the information about the place if you want to look into it and validate some of your information. I don't want to put it out there, you
No,
know, for public, but I'll be more than happy to share it with you
I
offline.
yeah, I'm just like
Mm.
as soon as that you put it on there, I said, "Oh gosh, oh yeah, okay." Like,
It's
oh,
so now we were talking earlier about, putting oh, and you know what, Terry and Irene, put if you put that comment back up, Bruce is a good friend of mine. Bruce is a very talented paranormal investigator and also an excellent tech guy. So you want to have Bruce on your show, have Bruce on your show. He will sit here and do the same thing I am, talk to you for hours about paranormal investigating. So hit Bruce up, BJD 409. Okay, hit him up to be on your show. And thank
Okay.
you for that compliment. But if Bruce says it's a great find on video, it's a great find on video. He's been investigating a lot longer than I have, and I have a lot of faith in Bruce's technical skills. So but yeah, so thank you, Joy. Yeah, I really got to wrap things up here, guys. But back to what we were saying earlier about Sharon, I didn't want to put that clip out there because I knew, like I said, somebody was either going to steal it for their own or somebody was going to say, oh, that's BS and that's garbage and whatever.
I
I
know,
know that's the real thing. If I
know
have
that
one thing,
too.
it's
You
integrity
know,
as a
I know
paranormal
that, and that's all
investigator.
that matters to me. You see, what they think. Excuse me, I don't give a rat's. That's what they think.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't
I'm
want to
just
open myself up to abuse online. You know how that goes,
yeah, but I've been
and
there, done
so.
that. And, you know. Okay, you
So,
don't like it? That's too bad. Scroll down.
so, so yeah, guys, I really got to
All
get going because, like I said, I got to get my beauty sleep for tomorrow. Guys, I could talk
right.
if I didn't have to get up tomorrow and have things to do. I could talk to you guys for another hour. So please have me back. I want to talk to you guys some more about 100 other things.
Sure.
We will. We would definitely get you back on. That is no problem. And Bruce, if you enjoyed the content, then if you want to come on the show, please reach out to me at Terry Crozier. That is my Facebook, TerryCrozier. You can leave me on Messenger or Nspstv Paranormal Podcast.
Yeah.
You can email me. My email is is on the link on the page, or you can call me. My number's on the page too. Either way, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to have you on.
There
Ask the
you go.
goofy guy
And
with the
There you
squid
go.
head.
Can I would like to share one more thing before I sign off. I'm going to pull up
yes,
another
ma'am.
image. If you could present this for a moment. Thank you. I just want to say one more thing. I want to give a shout out to The Walk. The Walk is a new program that Christy Parrish is putting together, and I'm assisting, kind of a production assistant and helping film it. So what happens is Christy will go to your location and not know any information about it. You'll contact me to set it up, and we'll arrange for Christy to go to your location and do a walkthrough, and we'll film it. And then afterwards, we will edit it and do an episode of the walk of your location. So if you're interested in having Christy Parrish do the walk at your location, contact me through gals or Jennifer Payne 36A at gmail.com. to book a walk with Christy Parrish. We're very excited about rolling this program out. Also, I'm going to be at Mass Paracon on Saturday, October 2nd. So I do hope to see everybody there. Come visit our table. I will be with Christy Parrish. We're going to be talking about the walk at our table and also anything gals, ghosts, and ladies we're going to talk about at Mass Paracon as well. So, thank you for letting me give my shout outs there. I really appreciate it.
Sure,
I,
sure.
I it
No
was so
problem.
nice to finally meet you guys. And Irene, I'll send you some stuff offline tomorrow. And hey, happy Mother's Day, everybody. And thank you guys. And I can't wait to be back on this show because we have so much more to talk about, you
Jennifer,
guys.
that's
Sure.
my
But
Facebook name right
I'll hit
there.
you up this weekend, Irene, for sure.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
sign
Okay,
off.
well now what about the tarot cards?
Oh, oh my God. I've got, oops. How could I forget that? I'm glad to thank you, Terry. All right.
No problem.
So before tonight's show, oh, thank you, Mark. Before tonight's show, I meditated a little bit and I pulled 3 cards from my new Salvador Dali tarot deck that was a gift for my birthday from previous possessed. Terry, thank you for that. So I pulled a
Mhm.
card for Terry, I pulled a card for myself, and I pulled a card for Irene. And I find that each of them was eerily accurate, especially after meeting you guys for the first time tonight. Um, Before we came on the air, the 3 of us had discussed if I wanted to do the card pull at the beginning. I'm really, really glad we waited. Really glad we waited because I feel like, hi, David in Clearwater, Florida, 727 Paranormal Life. I'll look you guys up and follow. But I'm really glad I waited to do this until the end because I think that you're going to find that these are really spot on. So I'm going to go in order of who I pulled the cards for. I actually pulled Terry first, me second, and Irene third. Okay. So, Terry, the card I pulled for you was this card, and this is the 9 of Pentacles. And it's funny, you can see the green screen through the card. But I
Mhm.
pulled the 9 of Pentacles for Terry after meditating, okay, over the Salvador Dali deck. And what I found about the 9 of Pentacles is it represents abundance and prosperity, not just in that you attract abundance and you attract prosperity, but that you deserve to be surrounded by luxury and prosperity. You deserve to be surrounded by comfort, not just in a hedonistic way that, oh, I should have all the things that I love and like, but even something as simple as, see my coffee cup here with my pens in it? Something as
Mhm.
simple as this that makes my space really comfortable in my own. This $4.99 coffee cup, or something like this goofball thing that is almost like a lava lamp and it's lit and it's got glitter and it lights up. There it goes green and you can see through it. But so when I say comfort and luxury, I don't necessarily mean big ticket items. I don't mean expensive clothing. Small things that make you cozy and comfortable in your space, even if it means a hat that you like wearing, that helps you develop your persona. um it's, you want to surround yourself with art, and it really, to me, what the 9 of Pentacle means in relation to you is that you really want to take the time to make sure that you're comfortable in your surroundings and that you're happy in your surroundings, and that you even do small things to make yourself comfortable because you deserve it. You deserve to prosper and you deserve abundance in all things. You work hard. So make your surroundings your own, make yourself comfortable. That's really what the 9 of Pentacles told me about you, Terry. So yeah, and again,
Oh
it's not
wow.
about
Well, thank
luxurious money things, but about, like I said, even these, I take great joy in these little small things in my surroundings. I find this to be a luxury, and maybe
you.
you find your hat, you've got that hat on. That is a luxurious thing for you, right? And that's not a
Oh
really
yeah, I love it.
humanistic $200, blah, 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 whatever, light up hat. It's just, but you know what I mean? So that was the card that I pulled for you.
Okay,
So
thank
again,
you.
going in order, the next card I pulled was I pulled for me, I pulled El Taro. I pulled the Chariot for myself. And again, that seeing that green screen through there really gives I get a kick out of that. But I pulled the Chariot for myself. Victory through willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Persevering, keeping going. Listen, I'm 62 years old. I'm sober 32 years. I built what little thing I've got here with gals. I built in a very short time, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a sign for me, the Chariot, that it's go time. This is my time to act. This is the time for gals. I built it to a certain point. We're going to the next level. I'm doing podcasts now, doing paracons now, really trying to educate people about the paranormal and help preserve history. Um, Hard work. I reap the rewards of my hard work. Victory through willpower. So that was the card for myself. Now, for oh, hi Matthew Ryan, my friend Matthew Ryan. Now, the last card I pulled was for Irene. And
Yikes.
Irene, I pulled for you the Page of Swords upside down,
I get it.
inverted, reversed, the Page of Swords. Okay.
I know what that means already.
So, how, but everybody else doesn't, and I'm about to tell them. And again, I'm so glad I waited to the end of this program because this is really spot on, I feel, about Irene. And Terry, tell me I'm wrong. You can't. So forgive me for looking at my notes. So the upside down Page of Swords. The first thing I get from that in relation to Irene is that it's really a reminder to watch your words. Your words, Irene, carry a lot of weight and a lot of impact.
Yeah.
It's very important how you phrase the things that you say.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important the tone that you use in what you say because you are
Yep.
a very powerful woman, a very strong woman, and
Yeah.
people can misunderstand you.
Yeah.
Um, so the upside down Page of Swords strongly indicates a blunt personality.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just learned that. That's
I don't have
again
a
spot on. Um,
filter.
and but also this tells me that at times that maybe you feel like you're not quite taken seriously.
Yep.
And again, that's another reason why you want to be careful with your words
Yep.
because you don't want to come across as a jokester because you want to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
So your words are very powerful.
The funny,
Oh, where did she go?
the funny thing, I don't joke a lot. I'm a little
Hold
bit too.
on, she got kicked out.
Why?
I don't know.
Can you bring
Let
it
me see.
back?
Yeah, there she go.
I don't know what happened there. Anyways, I was just wrapping up by saying that I mean your words are very, very powerful and it's important for you to be heard and understood. So to use your words cautiously so that you are heard and understood. So those are the three cards I pulled tonight. And like I said, I'm really glad I waited to the end because I find them to be very thought provoking
Yeah.
for all three of us.
Funny,
So
because I don't joke a
so
lot. I don't joke around a lot.
so
I get sometimes I get way too serious.
mhm,
Sometimes I
yeah.
fall off the edge because my work,
Yeah,
what I do, is so, and I don't have time to be funny, and I take my work
yeah.
extremely serious, and I'm on call 24 hours every day. So
Well,
You
that
wasn't
takes a
last
lot out
night
of
when I
you.
called you.
So, listen, guys, I've really got to sign off here, but I think that card reading was just a great way to wrap this up, and I think it really nailed it. And
yeah,
again, I really look forward to talking to you guys over the weekend, Irene, offline, and I really
sure,
really want to be back on this show again. Thanks
sure.
a lot for having me, you guys. I really appreciate it. See, time for bed. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Thank you. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Thanks. Bye, guys. Guys, this is Cherry with Nspstv Paranormal. Uh, Thanks for another great show. Irene, hang around.
Uh oh.
Post post podcast. But guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow night, and I wish you guys all the luck in the world. If you guys like this show, and if you guys would like to be a part of this,
Mhm.
please go to our Facebook page, NSPSTV Paranormal Podcast. Email me, and we will get you on. The month of June is already totally booked,
Mhm.
uh, and July is totally available. So if you guys want to join the show, feel free to do so. Jennifer, I appreciate you coming on the show and showing us and talking to us, man. I
Thank you.
can't tell you how much it is that I appreciate it.
Yep.
And I will reach out to you in 3 months to see how you're doing and get you back on the show, see if anything's changed. And hey, maybe we'll continue where we left off.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. And I'll tell you, I look forward to seeing my friend Bruce on this show, and I look forward to future episodes. Thanks again, you guys. I really
All right.
appreciate it.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.